My name is Peggy Kuntz. I graduated from college with an art major degree, and in 1955 Sherman Lee interviewed me for the position of secretary. He was curator of Oriental art and Indian art at the time. Dr. Lee was a wonderful boss. He was kind, understanding, and patient. Under the directorship of William Milliken, each employee was to address each other in a very formal way. I was Miss Lukish until he would address us as, "Good evening, Mrs. Kuntz, and how are you tonight, Andy?" Unable to stray from the museum policy, I guess. The 1958 edition was being built during my time, and Dr. Lee was in charge of the construction. Galleries were closed and all objects were put into storage. Dr. Lee and I shared an enormous table in Oriental storage as our office. He hoped to enliven the area one day and asked me to bring in some spring-blooming prunus branches. Of course, I obliged. When I arrived with my flowering branches, he directed me to pick out a vase from the shelves, which I did. After looking over many very old objects, I chose one. I was so proud of my arrangement and added water to the vase to keep my flowers fresh. Everything went fine for a second, and then the vase leaked like a sieve. After cleaning up the mess I made, sure, my next choice had no ancient cracks. Just imagine. When I left the museum, because of my husband's relocation, Sherman Lee was now director of the museum. It was an extraordinary experience to know Sherman Lee and his lovely wife Ruth, and to hear tales of their children growing up. It was indeed special.